Hello, folks. It's SS Maximus back with another video. I know it's been a long time, but I just want to do a review of Thea the Doom Angel. I had to do a Doom Charhart just to craft her. I'll be showcasing her in the Slayer set. And I'll be just doing a general review of her and her skills. I've fully booked her. And I'll be just showing individual Slayer sets. The Slayer sets aren't perfect. This is the best I could do. I've had to reroll these sets multiple times, and this is the best I got. Got a pretty good sword, a pretty decent shield, but the chest piece kind of sucks. Also got pretty good gloves. 3-roll Nash crit rate. It's insanely good with crit damage as a base, and accessories. I didn't do so well on, but like I said, the best I have. And this is her skills. I tried to do her, upgrade her AoE skill, but unfortunately I wasn't lucky, so I had to use all my books. Had to use max amount of books on her. Anyways, these are her masteries. I'm obviously going to be picking up Methodical after, and also Retribution, but at the moment I'm just too lazy to. They help her, but they're not necessary skills for her DPS. And firstly, I'll be showcasing this champion in Hydra. And we'll be just be doing normal, because if I try on hard, she's just not strong enough. Or I don't have a team to support her enough in order for her to shine in Hydra on hard. This is normally the team I'd use for Hydra hard, with the exception of Thea. I'd be using Wrathblast instead. I'd be doing Death Knight for the provokes, who come for the buff strips and the black debuffs on the poison heads. Actually, this is normal. We're just gonna put the attack buff on for the accuracy. Since they most likely won't need the accuracy buff on normal, since I have hers set to above 100, but her accuracy above 100 is not enough for PvE or PvP because there's a lot of champs that have resist. And her passive is every time an enemy loses 30% their HP, they get a fear debuff. But unfortunately, like I said, I don't have high enough accuracy on her, and I'm not at the point in the game where I can build a high accuracy, high attack, and high crit rate. So it is what it is. So for Hydra, I'll be cutting this and just showcasing when Thea gets the turn. Just showcase her DPS. Be her first AoE. And she's gonna do about 430k damage. I'm not good at math, though. Like you guys saw the numbers. Anyways, after having her for about a month, I'm quite disappointed with her, to say the least, because if you don't have a Hex champion like Mithril on your team, Theabiska becomes useless. As you can see, you need the perfect conditions, just like I showed there, to do the maximum amount of damage. And damage she does, even in the ideal conditions, is not impressive. As you can see, not every head has a Hex, only 2 of them did, and that heavily affects your DPS. So you need to have Hex on all enemies at all times. I think player should buff her, and a good way to buff her would be to give her AoE, or her basic attack, an AoE that gives Hex to all enemies for at least 3 turns. Let's doing the random 2-turn or the attacks random 2 times with a 5-turn Hex, because it will only land Hex on 2 enemies at most, and that's just not enough for her. And if you don't have a Hex on your team, like Mithrala, she just basically becomes completely useless. Because at the point in the game, when you're able to craft her, you most likely have better champions already. So you don't even need her for PvP, but I'll be showcasing her PvP after. This will be the final AoE. Oh, maybe not. I think I can do one more AoE before the battle ends. I don't remember if they eat my head here, or they eat my Thrall here. But here we go. I think this will be the final AoE. Then I'm gonna end the battle right here. Oh, as you can see, the head cleansed. So I can do the AoE. Even if I did it, it'd be pointless. So I'm just gonna end the battle right here. And just showcase her DPS. And yeah, my team is dying anyways, so it's a good time to end the battle. So, as you can see, it did 4.6 million, which is not that impressive. Because my Thrall did 1.3, Wukong did 3.5, and I was just using Wukong as a secondary just for buff strips. But I did have my Wukong build pretty good, and as a nuker, but still, she doesn't do what she's supposed to particularly well. I'll be showcasing her in PvP against a somewhat tough team. I'm actually considering cutting this part out of the video because this team is very annoying, has high resist, and is very tanky. I could have picked an easy team and just shove a nuke, but that won't be much fun, I don't think, because there's so many better nukers out there. But I just want to showcase her against a somewhat difficult team. Unfortunately, I don't think she's going to get a turn in this round at all because of that ice guy freezing every time I get a buff and that cooldown increase. So, yeah. To be completely honest, guys, I'm disappointed with this champion. Especially with the amount of effort you have to do just to get her and to be able to craft her. He looks very cool. He has a lot of potential, but her skill set is just not strong enough. I know she was buffed, but the buff she got, it was not enough. Her AoE skill, even fully booked, still has way too long of a cooldown. And her passive is kind of the only thing that draw me to her. The one that gives fear every time an enemy loses 30% of their HP or more. But like I mentioned earlier, you need high accuracy to do that. And for me to have high accuracy, that cries DPS. That would kind of go against what the champion's supposed to do. And the other downside, like I mentioned many times before, need a Hexter like Mithrala. Otherwise, she becomes completely useless. Because she can't use her AoE unless her AoE becomes quite useless unless every enemy has a Hex, or at least 3 enemies have a Hex on them. And the tank teams can just eat it, so. Yeah. I'll be showcasing each team, obviously, next, but I just want to show you guys her against a somewhat of a tough team. That's somewhat realistic. Obviously, if I was facing this team, I wouldn't be using Thea. I'd put in some cog and the battle would be over. Probably in the first 10 seconds of the match, but it is what it is. And yeah, I have my Death Knight in Silver. Guess why not? But, so this is not related to the video, but the team I just showcased you guys, I cut out because I lost multiple battles, I think 4 in a row. And it's because that orc champion, which is extremely annoying. So I tried to nuke him with my Wukong. Oh wait, no, this isn't. Yeah, this is it. I'm gonna try to nuke him. And he's just gonna nuke our team back. Wow. I actually don't even know that champion was that good. He's a new champion, but he's extremely annoying. But I'm pretty sure he petty. So I just want to beat this theme, and I know what I did wrong last time. I'm just gonna use the AoE instead of the target nuke. That way, that guy's melt skin will be able to kick in. And yeah, there we go. I got my win. I should have picked that team because I don't think I can beat that team even with my best team. But one to showcase her. Anyways, so here we go. This is somewhat of a tanky team also. But as you can see, only 2 hex lands. And she basically, even with 2 hexes, she actually can nuke. But that's because of the Slayer set tracking the AoE damage twice. And also the defense ignore mastery. I'm assuming that it's also proccing, and that's why she did so much damage, but like I said, for the effort you have to put together, it's kind of disappointing. And as you can see, no hits landed, so he's not going to be able to do much on her next turn. Even though, yeah, she nuked him, but I highly doubt those champions had any defense. So here we go again. I'll be doing this on a somewhat normal team, just showcase her damage. But keep in mind, she does have increased attack on her, and this will be affecting her DPS also. As you can see, one of the highest ones she did was 96k on a single champion, but that was Roundup. I don't think anyone did this on a tanky. And that was actually surprising because there was only 3 hexes that time. So overall, she can nuke, but the problem is there's so many better champions out there that she can't compete. If there was no hex on the team, she'd be completely useless. I put this on 1 speed to show her damage, but I know it's kind of annoying, but I apologize for that, but... And as you can see, the fear landed. I couldn't get my extra turn to do the AoE. So while we're doing this match, maybe you guys have some tips for me or for my champion. Maybe I'm not building her right. Maybe I have her in the wrong set, but she doesn't being like does all that damage at all. I know that was an AoE kill or an AoE nuke for the single hex, but I think that's because I have her. I also have kill streak on her, and that's probably why she got that bonus damage too for kill streak. As you can see, this is a hard team. If they get a turn, it's over. Anyways, I'll be showcasing her in Dragon as well. I think it will be stage 25, just showcase her DPS against a hard team. But to be completely honest, I don't think I'd ever put her in a Dragon team or anywhere in the dungeons except Faction Wars, to be honest. Because, like I mentioned, she has a good passive. Like, by the time you get her, you probably have nukers and nires, all the champions that can do everything for you. So, I guess she's just a cool looking champion you can get, but that's about it. If you guys get her, I'd just say keep her in your vault. So here, we'll be doing just a normal DPS run. But I'm gonna get extremely lucky here, because that AoE will proc twice when that single champion that is killed. The Slayer set procced, and so did the defense ignore, so I got 930k, or 990k. That's very rare to happen because, like I said, you need the second rock from Slayer, and that only happens like 30% of the time, so not very reliable. It's better just to gamble. And here I'll be showing her DPS as she would do normally. This could be just hexes. No defense down my weekends, but still. And she does about 365k. And I'll be doing this again, just to get more consistent numbers. And here we go. And this time there's only 4 hexes instead of 5. But like I said, it's always the gamble with a Slayer set because sometimes it procs, sometimes it doesn't, so about the same damage. Anyways, like I mentioned earlier, guys, the overall, it's just disappointing. She's not strong enough. She needs a buff. And yeah, kinda it. But I do have a big surprise for you guys next video, so I guess see you then.